Evening, welcome to Interesting Talks with Footprints Counselling Service. We've been on a long journey through the unknown over the last year. But, thank goodness, the light is at the end of the tunnel, and I, for one, am out in the garden doing videos again. For those of you that were new to Interesting Talks, welcome. For those that you've been here before, welcome back. Today's talk is about perfection only exists in the dictionary. It's a bit windy out here, so if the camera moves, we just have to accept it. There's nothing we can do about that. But as I'm saying, perfection only exists in the dictionary. Why am I saying that? There's been a big news article today by Naomi Osaka. I might not be pronouncing her name correctly. And she was refusing to do interviews after playing tennis matches. And she said it affects her mental health. Now, this got me into a debate with somebody, whereby I was saying that it doesn't matter how much money you have, mental health can deteriorate for anybody. And we both agreed on that conversation. And I think I need to bring it over to people why I do these talks. These talks are to people that would not necessarily hear any talk about mental health, or how your mental health goes from 1 to 10 in a day, a week, a month. It's not constant. We talk about physical health. Oh, go to the gym, lose weight. We talk about eating correctly, cut out carbs, keto diets, you name it. What about your mental health? If you're not mentally okay, then what else really matters? You know, that's my sort of thing. And I want people to take their mental health a bit more seriously, pay some attention to it. You don't need to be perfect. It's okay not to be okay. I've done a talk on that. Me, myself, I suffer from mental health issues. I go from one place to another. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. There doesn't exist a person on this planet who's in a great place all the time, 365 days a year, for the last 10, 20 odd years. It doesn't happen. It affects children at school. It affects old people in old people's homes. It's something we need to look at and address. Don't bury it underneath the carpet. I've encouraged lots of people that I know to go and see counsellors, not me, because I know them, to deal with issues that they've had from childhood. Others, we've got post-traumatic stress disorders, guys that have been in the army and they're not facing up to why they have nightmares at night. To people that have, just been involved, I've seen serious issues like stabbings, shootings, car accidents. These things affect how you behave and who you are. What you see in your childhood. If you had an abusive childhood, it doesn't mean to be physically, but you heard things, come across things in your childhood that affected you. They're going to recur in your adulthood. There's no two ways about it. You can't just say, nah, it doesn't matter. Stiff upper lip, get on with it. Yeah, you can, but guess what? You will not be living the life and smelling the roses, touching the flowers. You'll just be functioning. When your days come to an end, or you're getting close to the end, you'll say to yourself, wow, why am I so unhappy? Why did I not address the issues that I've been living with and not decided to try to face them or deal with them? That's what these talks are about. From different issues, what I talk about, it's just to get people thinking. I can't solve your solution by being, on a video camera. You probably need to work with me one-to-one or another counsellor for a couple of weeks, if not months, if not years. I remember when I was training to be a counsellor, one of my tutors said to me, he was working with somebody for something like 8 years. And he thought he'd sorted them out and this, that and the other. And then it came to the stage where he was ending with them and they actually brought up the issue. Why they'd actually come to see him after about 8 to 10 years. I've had that myself. I'm just about to finish with a client. I think everything's hunky-dory. We've sorted out your issues. And then when I'm just about to say, this is, obviously, I warned you last week. We've got 3 more sessions left, and then we're coming to our last session. And when we got to the very last session, probably in about the last 20 minutes of it, they opened up about something. The main reason why they came to me, and I was even devastated. I hoped that the shock did not look on my face because I was so shocked with what that client presented to me. So, whatever you've got, wherever you are, whatever underlying issues that are affecting your life and that are making you unhappy and you feel like you're walking sideways instead of walking up and straight, address them. Some people overwork themselves so they don't get time to think. Some people oversleep. Some people overdrink. Some people overeat. Some people, they do every kind of diversionary tactic in the book not to face their own issue. And just don't get me wrong, I've been there, you know. Give you another example. When I started training to be a counsellor, I don't know, the 16 of us, took me, I don't know, 5 or 6 years to become qualified. And after the first 2 years, it didn't really matter what you did. But then after the third year, I think it was, you have to go for counselling yourself. And that came as a bit of a shock to all of us. I mean, we knew we was on a counselling course, but we didn't realise we ourselves need to go and see a counsellor and get counselling. And out of all the 16 people, not one of them said they needed counselling. They all said we don't need it. Me, for one, I went to see a counsellor, and I couldn't believe all the issues that I'd buried in my life that I didn't want to face. I just buried them. I was walking like a stiff board. I wasn't a relaxed person. I wasn't in touch with myself, although I thought I was, until I started to address the issues that had been underlying me from childhood up until that day that I started seeing. And like, I don't know, I think you had to go and see a counsellor, I don't know, 100 hours or something over the whole course. I saw about 300. That was the depth of the issues that I had underlying. Hence, I could work with people because I know that that's what goes on. Anyway, this is the talk. Perfection is only in a dictionary. Share, like,